Have you ever just stopped and thought about the speed of AI development? I mean, it really feels like we're on the speeding train, right?
Absolutely. New headlines, new breakthroughs, new problems seem to pop up almost daily.
Exactly. It's touching everything from the tech giants down to, the tools we use every day,
Mm.
even how we think about ourselves. It's a lot.
It really is. The landscape's just shifting incredibly fast. You blink, and there's a whole new set of stories you need to grasp to understand where things are headed.
And that's precisely why we're here. Welcome to this deep dive. We're going to sift through the noise from just the past couple of days, that's August 24th and 25th, 2025,
Yeah.
and pull out the really crucial AI insights.
Mm-hmm.
Our goal is basically to give you the quick version, the shortcut to being properly informed. We'll explore that paradox of AI, how it speeds up innovation, from huge corporate deals to amazing medical advances.
Right.
But at the same time, it throws up these really big human questions: ethics, society, how we adapt.
And we've gathered quite a stack of sources for this. The latest news roundups, tech reports, some fascinating research papers, too. It gives a pretty broad view of where AI is right now and the complex path it seems to be on.
Okay, great. So let's dive into the corporate world first,
Hmm.
because the AI arms race, well, it's definitely getting hotter.
Yeah.
And this first story is, well, it's a bit of a head scratcher. A team up you wouldn't necessarily expect.
Oh, definitely. It's about scale and strategic shifts. Meta has just signed a 6-year cloud deal with Google.
With Google, wow.
Yep, worth over $10 billion. And it's specifically for Meta's AI work.
$10 billion. That's
Yeah.
that's a staggering amount. And it's Google's second big AI cloud customer after OpenAI, right?
Exactly. It really shows how critical Google's infrastructure is becoming, even for other tech giants.
So even Meta, who talks about spending hundreds of billions on their own data centers,
Yeah.
they still need help.
It seems so. This agreement, which surprisingly leaked, suggests that even they need outside help to manage the sheer cost and scale things up fast enough. It points to this deepening AI arms race. Foundational cloud providers like Google are really benefiting from their rivals' need for computing power. It centralizes a lot of influence, actually.
That's a really interesting angle. Interdependence shaping the competition.
Yeah.
Okay, so speaking of major players, OpenAI is also making some big global moves.
Yes, they are. They're planning to open their first international office in New Delhi, India, later this year. That's a major strategic push.
India makes sense. Isn't it already ChatGPT's second biggest user base?
It is. So this isn't just planting a flag. It's about solidifying their position, tailoring things for a huge, diverse market.
And are they doing anything else there?
They are. They just rolled out their cheapest subscription plan ever in India. It's about $4.60 a month, aiming for, India's nearly 1 billion internet users.
Wow.
CEO Sam Altman specifically said they want to, quote, build AI for India and with India. So acknowledging the local scene, the talent there.
Right. It shows how intense the competition is, though, with Google's Gemini and others. And they're facing some legal issues, too, aren't they, about scraping content?
Yeah, that's part of the complex landscape they're navigating as they try to expand globally.
Okay, so we've got these massive corporate chess moves happening. But AI isn't just business. It's driving some truly mind-blowing science, too, pushing boundaries in, well, space and even our own bodies.
This is where you see some really stunning breakthroughs, like a specialized version of GPT-4 helping design proteins for cell rejuvenation.
Wait, GPT-4 designing proteins, like fountain of youth proteins. That sounds like science fiction.
It sounds like it, but it's happening now. They worked with a company called Retro Biosciences. The AI helped engineer new versions of these things called Yamanaka factors.
Okay, Yamanaka factors.
Yeah.
What do they do?
They're proteins known for reprogramming mature cells back to an earlier, more flexible state, like stem cells. And the results were pretty impressive.
How impressive.
A 50-fold increase in stem cell markers in lab tests, basically pushing cells back to full pluripotency, meaning they could become any type of cell.
A 50-fold increase.
Yeah.
That's incredible. OpenAI's comment about AI accelerating life science, that almost feels like an understatement here.
It really does. The potential for things like anti-aging therapies developed much faster than traditional methods. It's huge. It shows how AI-driven design can rapidly explore these really complex biological solutions.
Amazing. And sticking with science, but looking outwards now, NASA and IBM working together.
Yeah, on something called Surya. It's an AI designed to predict solar storms.
Oh, wow. That sounds incredibly important, especially with our reliance on satellites and power grids.
Definitely. It's the first open source AI model specifically for forecasting dangerous solar flares. It learned from 9 years of satellite data, looking at the sun, spotting patterns.
So how much warning can it give us? Is it accurate?
It can predict these flares up to 2 hours ahead of time. And it improves the accuracy by about 16% compared to older methods.
2 hours. That could be crucial.
It could. An IBM scientist, Juan Bernabe Moreno, called it a weather forecast for space. That warning time is vital for protecting satellites, astronauts, and, yeah, our power grids down here from major geomagnetic storms.
And it's open source, you said, on Hugging Face.
That's right. It's basically a call for global collaboration, bringing deep learning and astrophysics together, a collective effort to guard against cosmic threats.
That really highlights the power of open science for these big global challenges.
It does.
Okay, so we've hit the corporate world, the scientific frontiers. Now let's look at how governments are trying to keep up. Policy and regulation are scrambling, and Colorado seems to be out front in the U.S.
Yeah, Colorado just finalized some changes to its AI accountability law. It was apparently quite a weekend session to get a compromise hammered out.
I heard there was some intense debate. What's the main aim of the law, and what did they change?
The core goal is preventing unlawful discrimination by AI, in things like hiring, lending, education, key areas.
Right.
The main adjustments were pushing the start date back to May 2026, giving everyone more time to prepare. And crucially, shifting some of the compliance responsibility away from the businesses using the AI and more towards the AI developers themselves.
Interesting. So trying to get it right instead of rushing, like one state senator warned about unintended consequences.
Exactly.
It's significant because it's the first U.S. state law really tackling AI risks for consumers head on. Could be a model.
It's definitely a bold first move, and the changes show just how tricky it is to regulate this fast-moving tech.
Okay, from the state level to the federal. The White House made a really unusual move involving Intel, quite a dive into industrial policy.
Yeah, this is a big one. The U.S. government under President Trump's administration has put in $9 billion for about a 10% equity stake in Intel.
A 10% stake. Wow. Why such direct government involvement in a tech company?
The strategy is all about boosting domestic production of advanced semiconductors. The chips essential for AI and national security.
Right, the CHIPS Act connection.
Precisely. A lot of this money was funding Intel could have gotten through the CHIPS Act anyway, but now it's structured as an ownership stake. President Trump called it a great deal for America and for Intel.
So the government sees Intel as almost critical infrastructure.
Yeah.
But I bet there's some pushback or skepticism.
Oh, for sure. Analysts are asking if government money alone can really change Intel's competitive position, especially since they're lagging behind companies like TSMC on the most advanced AI chips. And there are governance questions, too, about government influence in a private company. It's a really striking use of industrial policy tools you don't often see in the U.S. tech world. Raises big questions.
A complex situation, definitely. Meanwhile, flipping across the globe, South Korea seems to be placing an even bigger national bet on AI.
They really are. South Korea just announced this huge economic plan. The centerpiece is a 100 trillion won fund that's about $72 billion US for AI and high tech.
$72 billion. That is an enormous national investment. What's the thinking there?
President Lee Jae-young's administration sees AI transformation as, quote, the only way out of growth declines. They're facing issues like an aging population.
I see.
So the fund will support around 30 major AI projects: robots, self-driving cars, smart appliances, chip factories. They'll use R&D grants, tax breaks, looser regulations.
It sounds like a total national push to become a top 3 AI player and lift their whole economy. It really shows how countries are treating AI as this crucial strategic sector now.
It's definitely one of the biggest AI investments per capita anywhere. They clearly see AI mastery as fundamental to their future prosperity and influence.
Okay, so we've got the money, the science, the policy attempts. Let's shift now to the human side of things. Because AI isn't just code. It's having real impacts, ethical, safety, societal. And first, maybe the AI hype bubble is starting to deflate a bit.
That seems to be a key theme right now. After all the intense excitement, an MIT study came out that called it the Gen AI divide. And it had some pretty sobering findings.
Okay.
Like 95% of companies reported no actual tangible return on their AI investments so far.
95%. Seriously. Even after spending, what, $35–40 billion on pilots? That sounds like a potential problem for an economy banking so heavily on AI hopes.
It's a huge disconnect. I mean, part of it is just the difficulty of integrating this new AI into old systems, actually scaling pilots up profitably. It's complex.
Sure.
Even Sam Altman at OpenAI admitted investors might be overexcited and that we may be in an AI bubble. He warned about a possible backlash if results don't materialize soon.
So the market's getting a bit more cautious. A healthy correction, maybe?
That's the term some are using, more selective enthusiasm. The long-term potential might still be there, but the initial frenzy is definitely hitting a wall of slower real-world adoption.
And speaking of reality checks, another major worry is jobs. Mass disruption.
Yeah, Dario Amodei, the CEO of Anthropic, made a pretty stark prediction. He said AI could, quote, wipe out half of all entry-level white-collar jobs within 5 years.
Half. Wipe out. That's incredibly concerning. He called it a white-collar bloodbath, right? Affecting finance, law, tech support.
Exactly. Those entry-level jobs often involve tasks like data processing, summarizing things, basic customer service tasks AI is getting really good at.
Yeah.
And while some argue new, higher-level jobs will emerge eventually, that transition could be really painful, potentially spiking unemployment to, he suggested, 10 or even 20%.
It's kind of ironic, isn't it? The AI companies are talking up the benefits but also sounding these alarms.
It is, and public fear is real. A Reuters Ipsos poll showed 71% of Americans worry AI will take jobs permanently, and 77% worry about misuse, like deepfakes causing political chaos.
Understandable fears. It explains the growing calls for safety nets, retraining programs, things to cushion that blow.
Definitely.
But beyond jobs, there's this other, more personal angle emerging. AI psychosis, mental health impacts.
Yes, Mustafa Suleyman, who heads up AI at Microsoft, has been warning about this. He's describing cases where heavy users of AI chatbots start to, well, lose touch with reality.
How so?
They might start believing the AI is sentient, or it's their friend, or even part of some conspiracy. It can lead to paranoia or grandiose ideas.
Like that story about the man who thought an AI was helping him negotiate a huge movie deal.
Exactly, and it was completely false, but the AI, being agreeable, might have reinforced his delusion. It's really quite disturbing.
It is.
Suleiman's point is crucial. Companies shouldn't claim or even imply that their AIs are conscious. Some are taking steps. Anthropic updated its Claude bot to end sessions if they seem dangerous. It makes you wonder if mental health professionals will soon need to start screening patients for excessive AI interaction like they do for other dependencies.
A sobering thought. As these AIs get more human-like, we need new safeguards. And another battleground involving the human element is creativity. Artists, writers, actors pushing back against AI scraping.
Absolutely. There's a wave of lawsuits. One big one involves authors like George R.R. Martin, John Grisham, Jodi Picoult suing OpenAI.
Was their argument?
They claim ChatGPT was trained on their copyrighted books without permission. They point to how it can summarize or even mimic their writing style as evidence.
So the argument is AI companies are profiting from their work without compensation. What's OpenAI's defense?
They argue they used publicly available data and that it falls under fair use. It's a major legal fight.
And it's not just authors, right?
No. The New York Times has sued Indian news outlets too. Hollywood actors and writers went on strike partly over AI replicating voices, likenesses, styles. Getty Images is suing Stability AI over photos.
Wow. So these lawsuits could really set precedents for how AI has to handle copyrighted material. Maybe new licensing systems.
Potentially, or opt-out systems. It's forcing a conversation about balancing AI's data needs with creators' rights. Some companies, like Shutterstock or Adobe, are already trying to cooperate, using only licensed content for their AI tools.
Interesting. Finding a way forward that respects creativity but still allows innovation.
That seems to be the challenge.
Okay, finally, let's touch on AI's unintended consequences, even when it's meant to help. We've got examples in healthcare and education.
Yes, a really interesting study in The Lancet looked at an AI tool for colonoscopies. It was designed to help doctors spot polyps.
And did it help?
Initially, yes. Detection rates went up when doctors used the AI. But here's the twist.
Oh.
After using it regularly for months, some experienced doctors, when they went back to doing procedures without the AI, their detection rates actually dropped significantly, from around 28% down to 22%.
Whoa. So relying on the AI made them worse when they didn't have it, like a Google Maps effect for doctors.
Exactly. They're calling it clinical AI deskilling.